Well, hello there, and welcome to my kitchen table, a place in most homes where we can sit with family and friends and just talk for hours, putting the world to rights, as my dad would say. So, where are we off to today? We're off to Liverpool again, my city. I could talk about this city for hours and hours, you get the idea. Uh, but at the moment, I hope you've got a good coat and a pair of Wellington boots because it hasn't stopped raining for weeks and it's bloody freezing. Heck, it's the UK, nothing new. This story that I'm about to tell you is the start of what will become an ongoing series of unsolved cases that I will add to as time goes by. Um, I'll be doing that alongside my other stories. The Tuesday and Friday stories will still continue, and every so often, an unsolved case will pop up on another day of the week. So, with that in mind, now that you're here, take a seat whilst I tell you a story. She was petite, only 5 foot 3 inches tall, and she weighed about 6 stone, which is about 84 pounds. She was a known drug addict, and although she wasn't a sex worker, she was known to hang around with the girls in the red light district in the city centre. Notably, the area around the back of the Royal Liverpool Hospital, which is Crown Street, Pembroke Place, Low Hill, around there. 23-year-old Julie Finley visited with her mum on the day she disappeared. She showered, she chatted, and as she was leaving, she said, "I'll be back on Sunday for my dinner." Julie was last seen by friends around 11:05 p.m. on Friday, August the 5th, 1994. She was wearing a white blouse, black trousers, and black boots. And she was witnessed talking to a man with dark hair leaning up against some railings. He was around 23 years old, about 5 foot 10, 6 foot, and was well dressed in dark clothes. One of the other working girls later told the police that she turned this guy down earlier because she didn't like the look of him. The next day, Saturday, a team of cyclists were milling around the Wheatsheaf pub on the Rainford bypass. They were from the Liverpool Century Road Club in Netherton, and they were all there waiting for the start of a time trial. One of the lads, a 28-year-old computer engineer, was actually caught short and went into a nearby field to relieve himself. It was here that he found the body of a woman, laying face down, naked, with her head hidden in a bush. He rushed to get one of his mates to come and see, basically just to confirm that he'd seen what he thought he'd seen, and then they found the police. The lads were very careful not to disturb anything, and they kept the other cyclists away while they were waiting for police to arrive. Merseyside police were able to identify the body as Julie Finley. She'd been strangled to death. There had been a series of attacks and robberies on working girls in and around Liverpool at that time, and the police widened their search and their investigation into Julie's death to include Catherine Street and Canning Street around that area, which is Toxteth, which is another area of Liverpool. The murder squad also checked for any links to recent prostitute murders in the North East Midlands, although there was no links found at the time. On August 12th, a week after Julie was last seen, clothing and a bra was spotted on the corner of Low Hill on Prescott Street, which is just up the road from the Royal Liverpool Hospital. By the time the police arrived, the clothes had gone, but the bra was still there. It was thought that maybe a passerby had picked them up, and the police actually put out an appeal to have them returned to confirm that they were Julie's. The appeal was unsuccessful. 2 months after Julie's death, one of the girls working in the Toxteth district told police that she'd recently had a tattooed man that liked to strangle and talk whilst on the job. He told her that he'd been with two girls over the previous 2 months and that he'd killed one of them. Was that Julie? While he was strangling the working girl, he asked, "What's it like not to breathe?" He was about 30 years old and had a snake and dagger tattoo on his forearm. Julie's case was actually featured on Crime Watch UK on November 2nd, 1995, but any leads were not forthcoming and the case went cold again. The police interviewed a young man that thought he'd actually seen Julie minutes before her murder. His motorbike had broken down and he pulled into the lay-by on the Rainford bypass behind a white van. He heard shouting and screaming coming from inside the van and opened the back door. It was dark, but inside he could see someone in the dimly lit van who said, "Help me." The owner of the van came rushing at him and told him it was his girlfriend. In 2021, Crime Stoppers offered a £10,000 reward to anyone able to give information leading to an arrest and prosecution. Speaking to Liverpool Echo, Gary Murray, the charity's North West regional manager at the time, said, "We would like to thank all those who have contacted our charity with information about Julie's murder since we launched our appeal. But we believe that there are individuals out there with valuable information that have yet to contact us. I would encourage them to do so, as their information could be vital in helping the police arrest the individual who carried out this crime and bring closure to Julie's family, who for nearly 30 years have been desperate for answers about what happened to their daughter. No matter how insignificant you think your information may be, I would encourage you to contact us 100% anonymously, as your piece of information may lead to an important breakthrough in the investigation. If you know anything, you owe it to Julie's loving family to do the right thing. Now's the time to speak up anonymously and tell us what you know." If there's anybody watching this right now, and you do have any information, Crime Stoppers is totally and utterly anonymous. No phone traces, no 1471s working or anything like that in the UK. Call them. It's a free call number. You can even call from a phone box. And it's 0800 or 0800 555 111. Please. Julie's mother said that she believes the case file was gathering dust on a shelf after police failed to solve the murder. Pat Finley said that she would at least like justice while I'm still alive. After Julie's dad, Albie, died without seeing justice for his daughter. Speaking to the Liverpool Echo, Pat said it was so important to him to get justice for Julie. He had all Julie's pictures and all these little mementos next to him, and he'd always say, "Looks like we're getting no justice for you, girl." The police even interviewed Alan Kite, who's a known murderer, rapist, and child abuser, serving, well, currently serving 3 life sentences. Oh, plus 10 years and 8 months, about Julie's murder. And that was because he was very familiar with the area because he was a lorry driver, and he was very familiar with the area. Although it was later proven that he was not connected to the incident at all. Christopher Halliwell was a London taxi driver. In 2022, he was arrested for the murders of Becky Godden Edwards, aged 20, and Sean O'Callaghan, aged 22. They had been sexually assaulted and stabbed to death. He was found guilty and sentenced to life with a minimum of 25 years to serve. And I can hear you saying now, why is she telling us that? Well, the interesting bit about Halliwell is this. At the time of Julie's murder, he was working as a window blind fitter and drove a white van. He also lived in Orton, which is just up the road from where Julie's body was dumped. Police are aware of this information, according to local press, but it's unclear what action has been taken. While incarcerated, Halliwell attempted to make a deal with police at one point, and this was basically because the crimes that he'd already committed and he'd been sentenced for were so awful. Any unsolved murders in the area, they kept going to him saying, "What do you know about this? What do you know about that?" And he said, "If I help you solve one more murder, you leave me alone." They said no. They rejected that offer. So, nothing to stop Merseyside police from popping over to visit him. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Over 40 men were interviewed over Julie's murder in the 6 months after her death. But here we are, nearly 30 years later, and her murder is still unsolved. It's now November 2023. Any updates for this case will be pinned in the comments below if and when they become available. So, keep your fingers crossed. Thank you so much for allowing me to tell you this story. If you found it interesting, just hit the like button, maybe subscribe, and then you may be able to help with another unsolved that pops up. I won't only be doing UK cases, by the way. They will be worldwide. So, don't forget to give someone a smile. They're free, I've been Sue, TTFN.